All right, welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of May, 2022, and this is the Cluster API project meeting. Cluster API follows the Kubernetes SIG community guidelines, which basically means if you'd like to say something, please raise your hand. And in general, please try to be kind and treat others as you would expect to be treated. So with that, let's get started here. So we'll give a few minutes to welcome new attendees. If anyone would like to introduce themselves or is new to the community, please just feel free to unmute your mic and say hello to everybody. All right, I am not seeing any unmutes, so I guess maybe next time. So let's go to the open proposal readouts here and see, does anyone have updates that they would like to deliver on any of the open proposals? Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Thanks, Mike. I'm basically, I know things were a little slow last week because VMware was kind of offsite or whatever you're doing. And but I'm wondering if machine pool machines, if we could start lazy consensus at this point. We had a couple LGTMs in the past, and I think I've addressed outstanding stuff. So just kind of putting that out there, if we could get, if we think we're there, or if we think we're still waiting for changes.
Hey, does anybody have a comment on that? Should we start the lazy consensus? I mean, the thing is, next week is KubeCon, so like, do we, if we do lazy consensus, do we want to do like a 2-week just to give people time?
That would probably be fair. I don't expect much to happen next week.
Okay, I see Cecile giving a +1.
I would just, sorry, I have to raise my hand.
It's all good, Vince, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, there's a bunch of proposals out that have been kind of lingering, like, without comments for a while. So we could also just give like a week, even though next week is KubeCon. Sure that we have some time this week, or we can wrap it up this week or at the end of next week. Just 2 weeks. We're almost going to June, so.
Okay, I mean, yeah, as long as people are around to kind of merge this stuff next week, that's all good.
Works for me. So it sounds like we have a rough consensus on starting lazy consensus for a week. Sound good?
I mean, it sounds good to me.
Okay, well, I'll put that out there, but if anybody actually has some changes to make or whatever, that's what we want to know about.
Yeah, for sure. So like, we added the message here, I guess. Are there any other folks who want to talk about open proposals, or is there any other ones we should add this on? Yeah, Stefan, go ahead.
Yeah, I have the same question for topology mutation hook and runtime hooks for add-on management. A little bit further down.
Okay, wait, like, yeah, the topology mutation hook. And what was the other one?
The one below. Directly
okay,
below.
Thanks.
Oh, that link is, we have a PR. I'll update the link in the doc.
Thanks, Stefan. So I guess, is there any objection to starting the same lazy consensus on these proposals as well? All right, I see Cecile saying she needs to review them. I guess, is there any objection to putting these under a 1-week lazy consensus? I am not seeing any hands raising or objections in chat, so I will mark these as such. Okay, now Fabrizio is raising his hand. Go ahead, Fabrizio.
No, I generally agree to unblock this block. Just another point is that given that we are targeting the first RC beta for 1.2 in the middle of the next month. It is kind of now or never for this release. So yeah, let's keep also this in mind.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so the only thing is someone, we just have to make sure to get these merged next week then if there are no points that come up between now and then. All right, anyone else want to speak on one of the open proposals?
Oh, IPAM proposal merged. I think that we can remove the line from the document. And yeah, again, thanks Jacob for driving this work.
So you're saying remove them from the open proposals, or should we just mark them
Yeah,
with the lazy consensus? Okay,
they are
this
the IPAM is merged, so we can remove it from.
Oh, actually, I'm in I'm just in viewing mode. Could someone else remove that from the doc, please?
We do.
Thank you. Okay, so not seeing any other hands for the open proposals. So let's move on to the discussion topics. Stefan, it looks like you're up first with the unblock merge runtime.
Yeah, that's done now. I already removed it from the agenda, but apparently your doc doesn't update. So
nice. All right, I'll take a risk at doing a page refresh here. Okay, Fabrizio, now you're up first.
Okay, thank you. So if you remember some time ago, we discussed an issue with cluster class when there are two controllers co-authoring the same slice. The use case was subnet in Kappa being created by the template and then being completed by the controller. Yeah, the issues has a lot of documentation. And so we investigated the topic, discussed a little bit, experimented, and TLDR is that we think that the best solution to solve this problem is to change the topology controller in cluster API in order to use server-side apply. This brings a couple of advantages. The first and the most important one is that the copy basically became consistent with the rest of the ecosystem in managing such situation where controllers are co-authoring the same object. And this is definitely a plus. That's make the behavior consistent. People can look at upstream documentation, yada, yada, yada. So a lot of good reason to go down this path. Also, yeah, other projects are doing the same recent release of Cert Manager 1.8. Biggest change was user server-side apply. So yeah, we are moving with the ecosystem. This has but also all the other solutions that we explored as a small impact in provider as well. So when necessary, so when do you want that a slice could be authored by two controller and controller basically, and you want this slice to behave in a certain way, it is necessary that you go into your API types and you add the marker, the Golang marker list type equal map and the key. So I don't think this requires, of course, a new release from the provider, but at the same time, adding this kind of annotation is getting more and more a best practice, like Joel was explaining us in a recent thread about how we do API in cluster API. So I want just to make everyone aware that we are going down this path. Provider, if want the topology controller behaves properly, have to start looking at this. As far as I know, there are two use cases, one in Kappa and one in Kappa Z. But the impact is pretty limited, and I think the change makes sense. Just to complete the picture, yeah, there is some work to make this happen. There is also a small downside, is that we cannot use a server-side apply in topology dry run because topology dry run does not use a real the API server, and so the idea for now is that to preserve topology dry run in the current form, even if with some caveats limitation that we are going to document, and then research a better long-term solution. Take some time to do it. And the last caveat is that we still have to understand what happens to cluster created before using server-side apply. The tricky part is that currently all our controllers basically reports they use the same identity. They all qualify as a manager. So it is really hard to understand what changes were done by copy and what by the controller. So we have to figure it out, this detail. But I think that the direction is good, and yeah, I want to bring out the topic to this audience.
All right, thanks, Fabrizio. Are there any, I see Cecile's got her hand up. Go ahead.
Thanks. I just have a question for Kappa folks, if anyone's here. Are there any plans to move away from modifying the subnets in the controllers, or are you all just going to like go with the additional like marker and using the server-side apply as mitigation?
I can speak to that. There are no plans of changing the current behavior as of now, so we will probably do this change.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any other questions or comments about this? All right, Cecile, you still have your hand up. Did you have another question, or? Okay. I guess Fabrizio, is there any call to action here for the community? Like, should we take a look at this 6495, or is this is there something else maybe?
I'm working on PR. Christian is helping. It is an interesting topic. It was also for me a good opportunity to learn to dig into server-side apply. So if someone is interested in the topic, feel free to reach out and yeah, or help us or just ask question. It is a good moment because you are working for it. I saw a question for Cecile. Is this required for all slides? So the answer is the default behavior for CRD is that the slides are treated as atomic. That means that either one controller manages it or the other. Okay, you have to add the marker only if the slide is. Do you plan that the slide is co-authored? That's meaning if the controller is going to add a notation to this information.
Okay, I was just responding because of Stefan's comment that it's also required in order for server-side apply to behave as expected, which made me think it wasn't just the.
So the marker is required when, yes, of course, it is used also for service for kubectl and every operation that use server-side apply. But my point is that the marker really depends by the behavior that you expect on that specific slide. Otherwise, you can rely on the default behavior, which is atomic.
All right, I guess did that kind of answer the question?
I think so. Just to clarify your last comment, Stefan, you're saying that it would complain, but it wouldn't be blocking, right? It would just be a warning.
It's a warning.
Exactly. Okay, got it. Thank you.
We just noticed that because we ran OpenAPI chain on some of our types when we were working on Runtime SDK. That's why I know that. But yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess, yeah, if anyone's interested in this topic, take a look at the links and ask lots of questions to Fabrizio, right? All right, so next up we have Richard talking about the KubeCon meeting next week. So take it away, Richard.
Okay, it's just a quick one to say that the doodle is still open to vote for a convenient time for next week. The current most popular votings are for Thursday between 8 and 9, so breakfast meetup, and then on Wednesday in the morning, again between 8 and 9, or in the evening. Just to note that I didn't actually put Tuesday in there, just in case anyone was going to any of the co-located events, but people thought, you know, Tuesday during the day was a better time, then yeah, that'd be cool. And then I was wondering when should we close the doodle and actually agree on a time, whether that's, you know, leave the poll open for the rest of the day and then decide tomorrow. Just be good to get people's thoughts.
Well, I guess, yeah, we should probably close it off before the end of this week so people can kind of make plans for next week. Does anybody have any thoughts about this? Or is there any objection to closing the poll tomorrow, I guess? I'm not seeing any hands raising, so yeah, I see Fabrizio giving a +1. So yeah, maybe Richard, if you want to leave it open for today, and then I don't know, like maybe close it tomorrow at end of business for wherever you are.
Yeah, we'll do. And then I'll reply on the threads that we already have going in the channel as well.
Awesome. And yeah, it'll be great to see everybody there. Fabrizio, you've got your hand up.
Just for thanking Richard for driving this for let me say the informal gathering. By the way, I will be there both at the contributor summit and the KubeCon. If someone want to catch up, just send me a message in Slack. I will take a look.
Cool. Sounds good. I will also be there for the contributor summit, so I'll be looking for you, Fabrizio. All right. Thank you, Richard. Alberto, you've got the next topic with in-place node upgrades. So take it away.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Yeah, a few weeks ago, I think it was Forcat created an issue in Cappy upstream asking about in-place upgrades. I share some thoughts there. And this is also kind of a recurrent topic for bare metal environments. So yeah, some people reach out to me. Kate Goldering from Microsoft and some other folks show interest. So I went ahead and put this draft in place to have a kind of a starting point to discuss about this topic and try to move forward with it. It's pretty basic at the moment, just sharing some of the stuff that we are doing downstream. But yeah, hopefully we can use it kind of a starting point to work on a solution together. Main idea would be to have a ad hoc operator or controller for this to manage this that should be able to work orthogonally to Cappy and eventually have some kind of integration point between both. So yeah, that's the idea. So please feel free to chime in that talk or ping me on Slack if you are interested in this topic.
Cool. I detect people are already adding comments, but does anyone have any questions for Alberto or things they'd like to bring up now? Yeah, Fabrizio, go ahead.
I'm definitely interested in this talk, and yeah, last week we had the chance to meet together, and yeah, this was one of the topics that we would like to work as well. So after KubeCon, I will definitely jump in and take a look. Thank you for starting this effort.
Awesome, that's cool.
All right, cool. Did anybody else have comments or anything? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands coming up. So thanks, Alberto. And I guess if folks are interested, take a look at the draft here. So next we have Jonathan with a link to Cappy add-on management meeting. So Jonathan, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so I just wanted to give a quick reminder. I'm working on a Cappy add-on orchestration proposal with Fabrizio and Jack Francis. We had a sync up meeting a couple of weeks ago where we gave a demo of a proof of concept and we showed using a controller to install Helm charts. So I just wanted to remind everyone about that and drop a link with the recording, and you guys can expect a demo at office hours after KubeCon.
Awesome. We love demos. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Jonathan about this? We've gotten a very ecstatic awesome from Vince in chat, so I second that. Thanks, Jonathan. So I guess now we'll move into the provider update section. I've got a update from KubeMark. We just released version 0.3.0 today, which includes support for 1.0 plus of Cluster API. So that was a big thing for us, and it also includes a reference implementation of the scale from 0 for the cluster autoscaler, which is currently on review in the autoscaler. Richard, you want to talk about micro VM?
Yeah, it's just an update on the demo we gave, I don't know, probably about a month ago or 2 months ago about the micro VM provider. Now it's actually public. It was private originally. So you can take a look. There is improvement needed on the end-to-end testing side of things. But yeah, if anyone's interested in micro VMs, specifically Firecracker and Cloud Hypervisor, feel free to have a play with it.
Very cool. Awesome to see that hitting the open source. Thanks, Richard. And I don't know who put in the CAPZ update here. Does anyone want to speak on this, or should I just read it out?
Sorry, I just forgot to put my name. Yeah, the CAPZ 1.3 release is out. So check it out. And with this release, we decided to experiment with doing a 2-month release cadence for CAPZ. So we're planning on releasing the next one July 6th. So yeah, take a look and let us know if you have comments or feedback.
Awesome. Thank you, Cecile. And that is, I really like your release notes here. They look really nice.
Oh, we're actually using the Kubernetes release notes. So like the same release note tool as Kubernetes itself.
Okay, I might have to ping you out of band here to ask about that. All right, so that's kind of the end of our agenda. Does anyone have any ad hoc topics they'd like to bring up, or are there any new attendees who missed the intro at the beginning who would like to say hi?
Yes, that's me actually. My name is George Malika, and I work with Microsoft. I'm actually on Kate's team, and it's actually my first time, so everything is very new for me. But thank you guys for including me.
Awesome. Welcome, George.
Thank you.
I see Yuri is unmuted his mic, but we're not hearing you, Yuri.
Oh yeah, darn it. Double muted button. Hello, folks. Also at Microsoft, Apple. Been working with George and Kate and Cecile, and so nice to meet you all. And just to add, also very interested in the in-place update. I didn't raise my hand earlier, but something I'll try to participate as well.
Awesome. You. Welcome aboard, Yuri, and yeah, great to have you getting involved. All right, I am not seeing any other mics unmuting. So I guess that brings us to the end of our meeting for this week. Thanks, everybody. There will be no meeting next week, as some of us will be at KubeCon. So I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks.